alive though, because it is beginning to wear on me psychologically. How was my day? It was cool. And ran a couple of errands, but I need to work on my sleep. I need to work on my sleep and get my life together. Whatever the fuck that means. Life truly sucks. It really does. Well, it sucks in a sense that, like, the older I get, the more I realize it's just all a bunch of bullshit. It really is. There's ups and downs with everything, and we have little to no control over what happens in our lives. It's so crazy how we're all born kind of conditioned with this mindset that we're like the center of the universe, or like we're all so special and unique in our own way that we're like a protagonist in our own story, where we think that life was meant for us, and meant to go a certain direction, and that we're all on this quest, um, running toward this journey, or we're all on this quest, this journey, and we're all running toward this goal, wherever it may be. It's mysterious, but the Lord, God, the universe, spirit, higher consciousness, whatever you call it, has a divine plan for you, but everything is just unfolding, and you just have to sit back and see how everything unravels, and everything is going to work out in the end. Everything does work out in the end, because we all meet the same end, and that end is death. But between now and then, life, honestly, is just a mix of your attempt and trying to make sense of it, trying to do things to keep yourself happy and somewhat docile, but also having to figure out ways how to distract yourself from the inevitable reality of death. Because it's inevitable for everybody. And everybody is pretty much in delusion. So crazy. It's so crazy. People are like, oh my God, you're so depressed. You're so depressed. I remember when people were making videos about me. People were like, oh, he's going through a midlife crisis. Even if I was, let's just assume, even if I was going through a midlife crisis, what is inherently wrong with that? Why do people make it seem like that's such a bad thing that somebody is going through a series of awakenings in their life, and they're just trying to figure out a way how to make their situation better, or at least make sense of it? But I see so many people making jokes about that, as if even if I was truly legitimately going through some sort of midlife crisis. Can you all hear me, by the way? If I was truly and legitimately going through some sort of midlife crisis, the fact that people would just find it so hilarious to make comedy out of that, and then imagine me on the other side seeing these jokes and this commentary, you know, because I already know that most people are full of shit. It doesn't bother me anyway. But I can imagine this is probably one of the number one reasons why people spaz out and end up blowing their brains out or end up hurting other people, because they have such a deeply embedded perception that when they're calling out for help or they need help, they just want somebody to be there for them, to give them advice, counsel, guidance. And yet people just sit back and just ignore them, or just laugh at them, or you show a fake level of concern. Because the reality is, and I was thinking about this the other day, when people kill themselves, a lot of times there's this guilt that's told to people who are suicidal. Oh, don't do it because you have a family. People love you. people care about you? Why would you do that? You're selfish. As if that person actually wants to kill themselves. I mean, clearly there's something off with their brain chemistry. But the fact that even they get gaslit and get told, you're selfish if you kill yourself. You have a family that relies on you. Well, duh, that's the whole reason why they're willing to blow their brains out, because they can't handle it anymore. They can't handle it anymore. They're exhausted mentally. They don't want the responsibility. They don't want to have to constantly worry. That's the whole point. And that's when I realized, seeing how people react in real time and how most people are just so selfish and insensitive, and until it really affects them, they don't care about the next person, and they honestly can't even help it. That's when I realized that's when I realized what holds most people back is your morality, it's your ethics. You care too much. You expect everybody to be in compliance with a certain set of standards that you have constructed for yourself, and a lot of times these standards are handed down to you by society. And you're just going along with the script thinking that if you do all the right things, you'll get all the things you ever wanted in life. And it doesn't work that way. And you know what's so funny when you think about it? People in general, when it comes to religion, right? We get conditioned this way as young kids. If you do your chores, if you listen to mom and you listen to daddy, I'm going to give you an allowance. I'm going to take you to McDonald's. I'm going to buy you a new toy. And that thinking even extends into adults, where they think that if I just follow the rules of big government daddy, if I just follow the rules of big religion mama, then I'm going to get my toys. I'm going to get the job I've ever wanted. I'm going to get the spouse that I ever wanted. I'm going to be able to get this and get that. And guess what? Most people never get actually what they want out of life. But they just deal with it because most people are weak and they don't have enough energy to go out there and get what the fuck they want out of life. Because society at large, the script, has conditioned people into being very docile, very compliant. You only push yourself so much. And so you just spend the rest of your life just conditioning yourself to be okay. Well, it's not about money. It's not about money. It's about what's on the inside of your heart. It's about what's on the inside of your heart. It's about love. It's about family. Shut the fuck up. Most people want money. 99.9999% of your problems are going to be solved by having money. Straight up. Don't let nobody tell you otherwise. Money is everything. You gotta have money. One thing that I have come to realize, especially being older, society really fucked us up. Society, especially if you grew up in the black community in the 80s and the 90s, with all this bullshit about money is the root of all evil, all the themes that get embedded within Hollywood narrative and storytelling, that money ain't everything. All money ain't good money. What do you mean? You essentially live in a cold, unpredictable, chaotic universe. There's really nothing good about anything inherently. Right now, you thinking you're doing the noble thing by working for some corporation. You work at, I don't know, some healthcare insurance company. You're a claims representative. Bitch, you are not a good person. You aid and abet in the process of denying people health care. But you think, oh, well, I'm just a claims representative. I don't do, I'm just doing my job. I'm just doing what's told of me. Okay. You, you think you're a good person because you're in the military. But yet here you are helping a fucking military force drop bombs all over innocent people. You think you're a good person because you said right now me as an insurance auditor. Yeah. And I'm not trying to moralize. I'm not saying that I'm better. I'm just saying that this idea that, oh, people out here just acting like just so holier than thou, and they're following all these rules thinking that when they die they're going to go in the sweet by and by and meet up with King Jesus in the air and see Mama and them. And y'all just going to sit around the big table and eat honey and manna with King Jesus. And you know what's so crazy? Why the fuck do we have to die to go to heaven? You ever thought about that dumb shit? That makes no sense. If God loves us so much, why does he want to see us go through such agonizing pain, illness, seeing other people around you die, the emotional turmoil, for you to just go? Like, if heaven is so real, then why are you sad, Christian? That's how you know most Christians are full of shit. You so damn sad. Why are you sad? You know this person is going to heaven. So clearly you know you ain't 100% certain. Clearly you know there's some... You know who I think you would like? Quan Black Atheist Rants on YouTube. Oh, I should check that out. And that's what I'm saying. People out here acting like, they just got like life is just that so simple and so easy, and God made a way. Why God didn't make a way for everybody else? Why he only made a way for you? Well, the Lord works in mysterious ways. Well, maybe it's just not your time yet. Where was God during slavery? Where was God during the Holocaust? Where was God during all these genocides and famines and wars? Shit ain't real. People are like, well, that's not God. That ain't God. That's man. But God created man. God created us with the propensity to go to war and to commit genocide and to fuck up the environment. I never understood why Christians, well, God ain't did that, God. But why would God even create us with the capabilities of doing these things if he doesn't want us to do that? That's like, I'm going to create a gun, but I didn't create a gun for it to actually kill people. Well, what is it for? Well, it's there just to maybe kill somebody. I don't know. No, a gun is meant to kill people. A gun is meant to bring harm. But I'm saying all this to say, the church lost me when they were trying to explain how God came to be, etc., or the lack of explaining. Yeah, they can't explain it. Nobody knows. I hate this hand sanitizer. It makes my hands end up smelling like the inside of my feet. Ugh. Let me see someone walk on water with all this human advancement. Exactly. God helps you when you're facing death. But why does he need to help you when you're facing death? Why can't he help you now? Why he can't help you when you living in a roach-infested Section 8 apartment in some seedy part of town and you barely got any money to buy food and you got some badass children that are nagging you because they want some Mickey D's, but you only got 25 cents in your bank account and you can't even buy you a motherfucking bottle of water from the gas station. You got to wait all the way until payday next week before you even go out and buy anything for yourself or your kids. Why does he have to help you during death? Because we have free will. Exactly. They be saying all types of crazy shit. That shit ain't real. Well, and then I love when they say, "Well, you just gotta believe." No, that's just brainwashing yourself. I don't gotta believe shit other than what I can see immediately right here and right now. And let me tell you what I believe in. I believe in money. If there's a God, I worship money. Fuck all that shit. I don't give a fuck when nobody says, "Oh my God, you can't say that." Yeah, nigga, watch when I worship my God called money, you're gonna be coming to me asking me for some of it. Well, you think you can help me out? You think you can help me out? Nah, nigga, you say you don't believe in my God. I believe in money. You say you believe in another type of God. Go to your God for your money. Well, no, see, see. Oh, this is Brother Polite's theory. Oh, really? I didn't know he said that. It's so true though. God is my money. I don't believe in that other shit. God is my money. I'm gonna start a. What can we call this religion? I'm gonna call it moneyism. I worship the Almighty Dollar, and I love money. There ain't nothing wrong with loving money. I love for the love of money. What people would do for the love of money. What happened to my live yesterday? I got taken down again, but then I appealed it, and then they restored it. Bone Thugs, yep. Gotta make that money, man, that money, man, that money, man. Gotta make that money. I had no idea back in the day what they used to be singing. They would look at this. Then how far would you go for money without moral boundaries? You ain't got no morals. I haven't seen the 50-50 mortgage prank. They did shut down my live last night suddenly twice actually. You ain't got no morals. Ain't nobody got morals. You ain't got no morals. You done did some shit, you ain't too proud of. Everybody swear they got morals every time I bring up this subject. But how far are you willing to go? Man, you don't got morals. You probably done did some shit before in your life that you probably sit back and you be like, that's kind of questionable, but okay. My ideal goal weight is 180 pounds. I'm not saying just go out there and kill and do all types of crazy stuff. I'm not saying that because you do got to deal with the societal repercussions of your actions, right? Like, of course, you can't just go out there and do any and everything you want because you still got to live in reality, right? Like, this is still a reality you got to deal with. Like, you don't create your own reality. We all share one reality, okay? But what I'm saying is, if you can figure out a way how to get away with some shit and you do some risk mitigation, all power to you. Companies do it every day. Your ass probably work for a company that takes shortcuts, that figures out loopholes. That shit ain't moral. They ain't paying their fair share of taxes. They skimping on quality control, firing people left and right, replacing your ass with AI and robots and shit. That ain't moral. But you sitting back getting a paycheck from them. What? See, that ain't me. That ain't me. That's different. No, nigga, it's you. You benefit from it. I'm not moving to Lemonade because ByteDance owns all of it. If TikTok is not the is the issue. It's ByteDance. Period. Any entity that has a majority ownership by Chinese investors. And Lemonade sucks. I actually don't even know if YouTube is the right move for everybody, to be honest with you. But yeah, money is my god. I worship money. Then where are you taking the live streams? I don't know where. I don't know shit. TikTok probably won't end up getting banned. To be honest with you, because the footprint is just so vast and large. Not to mention, here's one thing you guys got to consider. Today, TikTok filed an emergency uh, uh, relief of junction. So what they're going to be asking the lower court to do, the federal courts, the federal appeals court to do, is to put a temporary hold on TikTok. On the actual ban until the Supreme Court can make a decision. Okay. What that is going to do is push out the ban past January 19th in order to give the Supreme Court time to make a decision. Now, if the federal court says no, they then are going to go straight to the Supreme Court and ask for an emergency, junction. And then more than likely, the Supreme Court is going to take up the case. I just don't really see them not taking on the case. They're gonna drag it out. It's going to get dragged out. Okay, it is going to get dragged out for a long time. More than likely, what is going to end up happening, and I have two theories now. Actually, three things can happen out of all of this. I'm not convinced that TikTok is just going to poof disappear. More than likely, TikTok is going to go the way of what happened to Grindr. A lot of people don't know this, but at one point in time, some Chinese investors took a huge stake in Grindr, the dating app. And there's this council in DC. I forgot their name, but what they do is they monitor security risks associated with companies that have a footprint in the United States. Foreign companies, in particular Chinese companies that have a footprint in the United States. And this particular council, I forgot their name, pretty much put pressure on them to go through the process of divestiture, which then they ended up having to resell their stake to an American company, and they retained a minority ownership. Okay? So this is one possibility of what can happen with TikTok, is that inevitably, and this is what I suspect could actually go on, and this is what I think can actually happen. Okay? The Chinese could make an exception and use a sale of TikTok in order to negotiate with the Trump administration when it comes to tariffs. I suspect that that's what's going on. The Chinese are going to try to use that as a bargaining tool to be like, look, y'all want TikTok. We don't want you to go too hard on those tariffs. Wait, does anyone know why they're banning TikTok though? They already laid it out. They said it's a national security risk. They said that the algorithm can be manipulated in order to skew information and affect the minds of millions of people and promote Chinese propaganda. They had some very good reasons, though. This wasn't just some shit they just made up out of thin air. And I think a lot of people don't realize that that bill had overwhelming bipartisan support across the aisle. It had support from both the majority of Republicans and Democrats and was immediately signed into law by Joe Biden. Okay? And there has to be something going on with TikTok. And let me tell you the reason why. They're on the verge of banning it in Canada. They're on the verge of banning it in Europe. I mean, the European Union. They've already banned it years ago in India. So to sit back and be like, oh, well, you know, it's not that bad and blah, 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 blah. Something's going on. They said the ban is on pause. Who said that? Did you just see that? So that is the number one theory that I have is inevitably ByteDance is going, or at least TikTok in of itself, is going to be spun off into an American entity that is going to be based here in the United States. They did ban TikTok in Canada. Well, they banned their offices. But they're on the verge of banning TikTok in Canada. If the United States bans Canada effectively, I'm sorry, the United States bans TikTok effectively, and if they ban it here, they are going to ban it in Canada and other countries. Pretty much other countries are going to follow suit with what the United States is doing. They've already banned offices. Like TikTok legally cannot have an actual office footprint in Canada. Now, this is what I suspect. This is what I think is going on. 60% of the global shares in TikTok is owned. It's owned by a billionaire in Philadelphia by the name of Jeffrey Yass. And TikTok says something. I'm sorry, and Donald's not. Oh my God, I need to sleep. Trump says something that blew my mind this past Sunday in an interview. Check this out. He was grilled on whether or not he was going to stop the ban. And he danced around it. He didn't give a straight up answer. He said, oh, I'm going to try to save it, but it helped my campaign, and it helped us. It helped Republicans who were up 30% with the youth vote this time around, and da-da-da-da. And the lady was like, sir, are you going to ban the motherfucking app? And you know what he said? Trump said, well, we'll try, but if anything, the goal is to stop another company from monopolizing on TikTok from disappearing. I'm going to say that again. He literally said the goal is to stop another company from monopolizing on TikTok possibly disappearing from the United States. So you know what this tells me? You guys got to see between the lines with what he's saying. What he's essentially saying is, oh no, TikTok might just get banned. However, what we plan on doing is, or what I know that I've been told behind the scenes is, there's already another app coming. There's already another app coming. And I'm not going to say too much about it, but we ain't going to have motherfucking Meta or Facebook / Instagram and Google possibly take advantage. Because you know why? Money. 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 Money, 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 money. Y'all don't understand something. If once they create this new app, right? And this app, and it's not going to be related to ByteDance. It's going to be an American company that has managed to figure out the TikTok algorithm. Wherever this company is, whoever these people are, yes, it will have all the same. Listen. You guys don't understand what I'm trying to get at here. Somebody is, I don't know, we don't know who these people are. Somebody behind the scenes has already begun working on a new app. And what Donald Trump is alluding to is this new company has the potential to be just as big, if not bigger than TikTok. And listen, here's the thing you got to understand. Yes, the app is going to pay. This is what you guys don't understand. All these apps inevitably are going to pay. They're all going to have monetization. Listen. That's besides the point. If the app is based here in the United States, what you got to understand is what Trump is trying to say is, in so many words, there's a new app coming, and him and his buddies, straight up cronyism 101, they finna go all in on that app to stop Meta, Facebook, from monopolizing. And listen, you guys understand, if this app explodes in the United States and essentially becomes the new TikTok, this will become a publicly traded corporation. It won't be Twitter. It's not going to be Elon Musk. Elon Musk and social media, no, those two aren't going to mix. You can't know. It's a completely new app. Completely new app. I'm telling you, it's a new app. We don't know about it, but more than likely it's going to be an app that is literally TikTok 2.0. And it's not going to be anything that Meta, they're going to set this shit up so that way Meta and Google won't be able to get in on it, because this will be effectively become a brand new publicly traded corporation that is going to create a gold rush for investors. This is where I'm trying to get at. So you guys got to understand something. From a Wall Street investor perspective, Facebook, Meta is already too big. It's already too big. The Justice Department will literally stop. And he even said this himself. Trump said this. Now, mind you, this is Trump, who essentially is anti-government meddling in business affairs, stopping mergers and acquisitions from happening. But then in the same breath, he's saying, we are going to stop a monopoly from occurring, with the potential for Meta or Google to buy out TikTok if TikTok were to get sold off. So in other words, what Trump is alluding to is, oh, no. TikTok might very well get banned, because I'm not going to do too much to really try to stop it or slow it down. But there's going to be a spin-off company coming that's going to be a potential new social media rival that's going to rival just as much as Facebook and Instagram and YouTube. You said you got to realize how TikTok became big, though. If they try to make another TikTok, I don't know that. What do you mean? Listen, it doesn't matter. Everybody, listen, every couple of years or so, right? Every couple of years or so, people say the same shit about all these social media apps. They said it's about Facebook, that Facebook would never take over MySpace. Look at what happened. Facebook cannibalized MySpace. They said that Instagram would never really take off. Look at what happened. Facebook came in, bought out Instagram for $1 billion, and turned it into a giant in of itself. They said YouTube will never take off. YouTube got bought in the early days by Google. Listen, they say this all the time about all of these apps. People always stand against the tide of time, and they just swear that none of this shit is going to take off. And it ends up taking off. Nobody thought that ByteDance or Musical.ly, remember how Musical.ly was initially the name of TikTok, and then it turned, and then, there was Vine. I'm telling you. You can't just use a VPN. It's not going to happen. But listen, I'm trying to tell you, they got a new app coming out. So y'all got to be on standby. TikTok is not going to get saved. No, I don't think it's going to get saved. Trust me, they got a new app coming out. And this app is going to be pretty much based on the whole entire TikTok. You think that white man in Philadelphia is going to sit back and not already have a game plan mapped out? It's not going to be Lemonade. Lemonade's owned by ByteDance. This is what people keep trying. I'm trying to tell you guys. Listen. The The bill in of itself bans any companies that have majority Chinese ownership. This is not the first time they've done this. They did it also to Huawei, the cell phone company based in China. What's your new question? What's your question, Saint? There's a new app coming. Trust me. We don't know what the name of it is. It's probably going to be, and it's going to have the same interface. It's going to be, and I hear that Instagram is apparently about to roll out a whole new separate app for Reels that's going to have social commerce capabilities. This is probably West East Tech Code where I'm seeing what you mean. Yeah. Okay, Clapper. I need to download that because I've been hearing people talk about Clapper. But Instagram is done. Instagram has fizzed out. The other thing is, it's the algorithm. That's what makes TikTok TikTok. The algorithms on Facebook, Instagram, and even YouTube to some extent, they're just not as good and dialed in like the one with TikTok. But I can almost guarantee you there are already some engineers out there that have managed to reverse engineer that TikTok algorithm, and they probably are already working on an alternative. And it's not going to be Blue Sky. Blue Sky is about to become the motherfucking Twitter version of what happened with what do you call it? With Threads. You don't hear nobody talking about Threads no more. And Elon Musk is too tied up with Tesla. He's not going to get. He is not going to get into the. So his reputation is too shot. It's not going to work. It is going to be literally. I'm telling you, it's a completely new app. It's a completely new app. It's an app that y'all, and they're not going to immediately roll it out. They are not going to immediately roll it out. It's probably going to happen sometime, probably in the beginning of next year. I can guarantee you. They thought Threads was going to eat like Twitter. I knew that was going to happen now. Anything, listen, it's all about branding too. At this point, no, let me tell you. Instagram and Facebook are essentially legacy social media platforms that only a certain population of people really and thoroughly enjoy using. Listen, this is what you guys also fail to realize. The real future is in live streaming. Posting content is one thing, right? But that's not where we're going. See, one thing that a lot of people don't realize, TikTok is not a social media platform. TikTok is a broadcast platform. This is the new TV. You need to have a platform that has live streaming capabilities. Kick, Twitch, think of something of that nature. But something to where you can embed in social commerce, live streaming, search engine capabilities. It's essentially TikTok. That's essentially what TikTok has become. So I'm thinking it's either two things. TikTok is going to get saved and it's going to get sold off and spun off into an American company. And that's not a bad thing either, because that just means that more money. And also, let me tell you another reason why that's not a bad thing. I'm going to tell you another reason why that's not a bad thing. Censorship. So long as that company is in the hands of China, the censorship is insane. It's not a good. That's one thing that makes TikTok not a good app. Censorship is horrible on here. But if it gets into a what do you call it? The U.S. is going to censor. But no, when I don't mean censorship about information. I'm talking about like using just over deploying AI in order to just take people's lives down, their videos, shit like that. I'm not talking about misinformation. People who complain about censorship on these apps, they don't know what they're talking about. Like a lot of times I hear people talk about, oh, we're so censored. Yeah, because you were posting bullshit. Well, what I'm referring to is um, just the unnecessary censorship that comes along with adult content. There are certain things you cannot post on TikTok that you could post on Facebook and Instagram. And that never really made any sense to me. No, not Rumble. You got to think, listen, you got to think long term about this. Whatever company gets spun off, whatever company gets spun off and is now based here in the United States. Oh, let me tell you another reason why I believe what I believe. Wall Street, this is what people are failing to realize. They're not trying to ban TikTok. They're not trying to ban it. They just want it to become a motherfucking American based company so it could be traded on Wall Street. So that way it could become a publicly traded corporation, just like Meta. That is the reason why Donald Trump said what he said. He danced around it in such a way where he was giving the illusion that they might be theatrical in terms of trying to save TikTok, but no, they're working on a new app. They got a new app coming out that they're going to try to spin off and eventually get that shit listed on Wall Street to become like the next big social media platform. And it has nothing at all to do with spying and censorship and all this other stuff. No. All the conspiracy theories that I'm seeing people talk about, oh, they're trying to control us. They don't give a fuck about that. They don't. What they are trying to do is, guys, it's capitalize on having a company here. Because let me tell you guys something else so you guys don't see this coming down the pipeline. 2 words. Social commerce. Social commerce. That's all you need to know. Social commerce. There's too much money now in social commerce. But anyways, guys, let me get off here. I'm about to go to the gym. I'm going to holler at you guys later.